Hello, we are not available now. Please leave your name and phone number after the beep. We will return your call.
On February 19th, 2013, a YouTuber named PerplexiaX uploaded a video of a strange phone call he received earlier that day, and apparently it's happened to him over 20 times since the first occurrence in the mid-1990s. After picking up the phone and immediately saying hello, multiple other voices appear. Each also tries to say hello in order to figure out who's calling. They ring and echo in different tones that are honestly kind of creepy. Only the last 2 minutes were recorded, which I will be playing for you now. This definitely wasn't fake, as Perplexia states a few times. He's an amateur musician who didn't want to just be known for a creepy phone call, but that's inevitable, I guess, huh? Many commenters on the original video point out what's actually going on. One that has since been deleted by user Haraldur34 reads, "This sounds like a single multi-ID number dialing many people at once and allowing all to barge in on each other. I work for an ISP company myself, and this could have easily been done with a programming script that executes 3CX of millions of numbers to dial at the same time." Terrifying phone message on June 29th, 2012. The uploader, Time Train, states that what we're about to hear was sent to his mother. He got a call from her neighbor stating she was in a hysterical state. So, he traveled to her place in Greenlee, Colorado, to make sure she was fine and get to the bottom of things. It was due to a creepy message that would play between 7 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. All other times during the day, it would either be a dial tone or work normally. If the phone was picked up during the aforementioned time, then the creepy message would play. Using his laptop, the son recorded it, but the next day, the messages stopped. Dead silence. He called the phone company, to which they couldn't find anything wrong. A male voice appears towards the beginning, seemingly saying the words NORAD, the Nuclear Defense Agency. I'll play the message, but the tone of the end was cut short due to being ear-splitting.
NORAD, EWS, Station Zulu Foxtrot 77, Zulu Foxtrot 77, Status Alert Con 4, Status Alert Con 4, Security Tracing in progress. Attention, 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 whiskey, whiskey.
This video was posted in 2017 to finally put this mystery to rest, which it did. The top comment points out how this was a DEFCON broadcast error from the NORAD Advanced Warning Station. The defense condition was Con 4, meaning the lowest offense condition. It stopped broadcasting once the Air Force went over their security traces and realized that a personal home phone was receiving them. Reddit user GYoung1793 posted the following on the subreddit Paranormal Encounters. I received a voicemail last Tuesday night that's really starting to creep me out the more I think about it. I've been researching possible explanations for a few days, but I haven't been able to come up with anything, so I'm hoping someone can ease my mind and tell me I'm not about to be haunted or some shit. The voicemail was about 45 seconds long and seems like a butt dial at first, but if you listen closely, it sounds like a woman's panicked, frightened voice, and she's praying to the devil. I was able to decipher the words, and this is what she says.
At the hand of the devil, and all my sins are forgiven. The blood of Jesus Christ is cleansing me from all of my sins. I confess all my sins and repent. I forgive everyone who has ever hurt me. I transfer all pain, abandonment, betrayal, and abuse to the cross of Jesus Christ.
The call came from a number with a local area code. When I ran a reverse phone lookup, it came back as unregistered. I also searched those exact words on Google, and the only somewhat similar result I found was an excerpt from a book written by Laura D'Amore titled La Prenzo, The Spirit Within Me. Upon further research, this excerpt is specifically about a demonic exorcism. Has anyone ever received a voicemail like this or heard of similar experiences? Also curious if anyone has insight into what type of prayer that might be. Whether it's related to an exorcism or something like that, need some peace of mind here, please help. This was uploaded a year ago and there seems to be no real updates to the case. Most like myself believe this to be real, as their other posts are on completely different subreddits. Was this really part of a demonic exorcism? The year is 1991. A man calls 911 to report that his dog was thrown over a fence and killed. The one who did this was never caught or even known.
911, what are you reporting?
I got a strange going on out here. Something just killed my dog.
Something killed your dog?
My dog went flying through the air over the tree. I don't know how it did it.
Okay.
Damn it, I'm really confused. All I saw was my dog coming over the fence, and he was dead when she hit the ground. I didn't see any cars. All I saw was my dog coming over the fence.
The situation gets more disturbing when he calls 911 again a few weeks later. The man reports that an intruder is in his backyard, with some disturbing details being pointed out.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on and I just happened to glance and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man, or something that looks like a man. I don't know what it was, just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it, but whatever it was standing up.
Midway through the call, the thing starts staring at him, causing the caller to rightfully freak out.
Jesus Christ, you better...
Sir?
Zia!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big... real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
Many point out that this intruder might actually be Bigfoot. I mean, 7 feet tall, massive, scary, and lurking within the woods. This audio is usually cited as the biggest proof of Bigfoot. The man's genuine fear is noticeable to a T, and doesn't sound fake in the slightest. While researching for this video, I found an incredibly obscure YouTube video. How obscure, you say? Well, as I'm making this, the video is 3 years old and has only 150 views. The description reads, "So my family and I just got home a few minutes ago, and my sister has gone inside first. And when I got in, she told me if I wanted to hear the voicemail that sounded like someone was possessed. It's kind of creepy. I was expecting to hear some creepy message saying someone was going to die or some cryptic thing by the way it sounded.
For your support and being a privileged member of computer technical support. As your computer is under lifetime warranty, but unfortunately our server has crashed down. As per federal law, we are bound to refund your money. So please make sure to talk to our refund department executive at 470-685-42.
End of messages.
The recording is super slowed down, distorting the other user's message, but when speeding it up a little, you can kind of hear what is being said. I hear phrases like computer technical support, lifetime warranty, our server has crashed, and as by federal law, we are bound to refund your money. A number is even listed at the end. Clearly this is just an advertisement that crashed and came out slow and seemingly haunted. It's not as serious as these other entries, but still creepy nonetheless. Another 911 call, this one more stupid due to the person calling. This 45-year-old grown woman needs help because a boa constrictor she rescued the other day has latched itself onto her face and won't let go. The woman is somehow able to describe the situation to the operator, despite a 6-foot-long snake biting her nose.
Ma'am, I'm I've notified the ambulance and the fire and the police department. So the Boa Constrictor has a hold of your nose?
Yes.
Can you pry its jaw open if you pinch
No,
its
I'm
jaw?
trying. There's blood everywhere.
Okay, and its jaw won't open?
No.
Okay, how big of a snake are we talking, ma'am?
She's like 5.5 feet.
5.5 feet? And you said you rescued it yesterday?
Yes, I rescued 2.
You rescued 2. Is the other one put away?
Yes.
Okay.
All of my snakes are put away.
How many snakes do you have, ma'am?
I have 11.
Wait, this bitch has 11 of them? I know this sounds horrible, maybe she deserves to have this happen to her. To teach her a lesson to stop capturing snakes in the wild and treat them as pets. Being bitten in the way she describes is disturbing, but she did it to herself. Once emergency responders came, someone took a pocket knife and cut the boa's head off. At that point, it had wrapped itself all over her body, leading to more pain. She survived and refused to go on camera during news reports. On r/AskReddit, an now-deleted user asked if anyone had any creepy true stories. The top comment from Mastrius reads as follows. A few years ago, my brother would get a call on his cell phone around 2 to 3 a.m. every night. He would answer and it was this hellish-sounding noise, like static mixed with screams. He changed his cell phone number after a month of this and it stopped. Then after a week or so it began again, the exact same noise, exact same time. Finally, one day he decided to back dial the call. It was an old man that had no clue what he was talking about. Still, the calls persisted. If he didn't answer, it would call a few more times. No messages were left. He decided to say, screw it, ended his contact with his phone company, switched to a new one, and then got another new number. You guessed it, the screaming static calls continued after a short delay. This time he was terrified every night. Unsure why this was happening, he back dialed the number again and got a different person. Around this time, he lost his job and his phone. The calls stopped, of course. His phone was disconnected now. So one day, my mom asked me to listen to this weird message she got on her home phone. It was a static screaming. We showed my brother and he was freaking out. He back dialed the number again and it said the number was disconnected this time. Never heard from it again after that. Harrisonburg, Virginia, 1982. A woman named Kelly Bergh Dove was an employee at the Imperial gas station on South Main Street. Things were going well for Kelly until summer came around. On June 18th, she made 3 distressing phone calls to the Harrisonburg Police Department, revolving around a man reportedly harassing her. The first call happened earlier in the night, with Kelly initially reporting a strange man coming into the building to see her. The second call was made not too long after, where she stated the man came into the station dressed improperly. This most likely meant he was exposing himself to her. The final call was made around 2:30 a.m., where she sounded more frightened. She said the creep was using the outside payphone to call her and leave obscene comments. This would be the last time anyone ever heard from her. She just disappeared, with no signs of a struggle or disturbance. Her personal items were never stolen, and no signs of a robbery. Kelly just vanished into thin air. Most likely it was a man who did this, who others reported being in his early 20s with shoulder-length blonde hair. He was driving a silver or gray vehicle, which Kelly herself described as a Ford. Kelly's parents suspected the man to be a high school classmate who has never been legally named to the public. 40 years later, the case remains unsolved, with the station being torn down in 1989. In 2007, it was reported that several families in Fir Crest, Washington were being harassed by some sort of cell phone hacker. It began with the Q Kendall family, when the 16-year-old daughter Courtney had her phone compromised. Somehow, strange messages were sent from her phone by itself. She did not make them. Nobody believed this at first, resulting in Courtney getting in trouble and getting her cellular device confiscated. However, these messages would still be sent from her phone, despite it being turned off. Even creepier is that after all this, the hacker would leave threatening phone calls in a scratchy voice. The man was able to tell what the Q Kendall family was doing, saying, and what they were wearing. It even stated how he was to slit all of their throats. One of the calls revealed to ABC News said, "I know where you are. I know where you live. I'm going to kill you." Even in police involvement, this culprit was never found. Tracing the calls just led investigators back to the family's phones. It reportedly happened to some other families too in the area, but the case mainly latches onto the Q Kendall family. Theories have come up to try and explain how this all happened, but after a decade and a half, We still don't know the identity of this creep. There's an obscure YouTube channel called Sopisms which uploaded 3 weird paranormal videos. To me, these don't seem fake, and they were all uploaded over a decade ago. Also, it literally has only 1 subscriber. The video I'd like to talk about is simply titled Voicemail from the Dead. The description states that the voicemail was recorded on March 30th, 2011, a few months after the grandfather passed away. They believe that this is their grandfather, crossing over to convey some sort of message. Take a listen.
Saved message. Saved message.
The obscurity of this makes it for me, that and the video itself being less than 30 seconds. The other 2 videos show weird orbs floating over the staircase that the user documents. Yasser Abdel said, one of the most horrific murderers in the 21st century. Coming to the United States in the 1980s, he raised the family of his wife, Patricia, whom he married at age 30 when she was 15. Yikes. Anyways, the couple would have 2 daughters, Sarah and Amina, along with a son who isn't important to the story yet. What is important is that Said was incredibly abusive to the 3 women he should have been loving of. All 3 wanted to run away from him, which they planned to do in late December of 2007. Amina wanted her sister and mother to move in with her and her boyfriend in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But unluckily for her, Patricia made up with her husband over the phone. She wanted all 3 of them to get back with their father, which the sisters reluctantly agreed to. However, on January 1st, 2008, Yasser Said would do the unthinkable. After putting his 2 daughters in his taxi cab, he kissed them and told them they were going to go out to eat. Instead, after driving away from their mother, he shot both of them to death. Before dying, Sarah was supposedly able to call 911, which you were about to hear.
What's going on, ma'am?
I'm dying, that's what's up.
Irving Fire Department.
Ma'am, are you still there? Ma'am, are you still there? All I've got is she's telling me she's dying. I've got a, why are you still there, ma'am? Ma'am, what is your address? Ma'am.
The cab in our cab stand, doesn't appear that there's a driver, but there are 2 people inside the cab, one in the passenger seat and one in the rear of the vehicle. One of the people in the passenger seat looks like she's hunched over, and she has blood coming from her ear. It doesn't look like they're alive to me.
I understand that. We've got our officers en route.
Even after the girls' bodies were discovered, Said was never caught. In fact, he wasn't caught for over 12 years. He was even placed on the FBI's most wanted list, as some thought the murder was an honor killing. He disapproved of the sisters' boyfriends, motivating him to kill them. Some thought he moved back to Egypt, but he was found alongside his son living in Justin, Texas. The 2 were finally arrested in August 2020. On the night of September 5th, 2015, 31-year-old Henry McCabe went missing after visiting a nightclub with a friend. After their night of fun, the friend dropped him off at a convenience store at 2 in the morning. No one would ever see him again after that, but as you suspect, that wasn't the last time anyone would hear of him. His wife was on a trip to California, hundreds of miles away from the couple's home in Mountain View, Minnesota. At 2:28 a.m., she received an odd voicemail from her husband, which has since caused much confusion to the disappearance. The recording is 2 minutes long, features undecipherable noises, including bizarre moans and other sounds. These noises suddenly stop, and you can hear someone utter the phrase, "Stop it."
It's a voicemail unlike anything you've ever heard before. There are 2 minutes worth of noises, bizarre ones, but very little actual talking. The tortured grunts suddenly stop. There is silence. Then someone, either Henry or another person, says, "Stop it."
To those who listened to it, many inferred that Henry might have been fighting for his life, that after being dropped off at the convenience store, he was taken by someone. Kevin Cosgrove, an insurance senior business executive, he lived a seemingly normal life in New York City, commuting to work with Aon Corporations and coming home every night to a family, his wife and 3 kids, but he would die at his job as he worked on the South Tower in Manhattan, the very one that would collapse on September 11, 2001. Kevin is notable for calling 911 after the first plane hit. His tower had not been struck just yet, as at the time of the call, it was 9:54 a.m. He was located in the northwest corner of the 105th floor. In what you are about to hear, he tries to explain the situation to the operator before he is interrupted. The full call is 5 minutes, however I'll play parts of it. The full version will be in the description.
How the hell are you going to get my ass down? I need oxygen. They have a lot of apparatus on the street. You guys didn't feel like it, lady. You get them in from all over. They get in from Jersey. I don't give a shit Ohio. Okay, so what's your last name? Mine's Cosgrove. I must have called about a dozen times already. Cosgrove. Yeah, my wife thinks I'm all right. I called her and said I was leaving the building. I was fine, and bang. Well, I want to hold on. Cherry. Dead Cherry, you said, right? Yeah. Dead Cherry's next to me. 105. Whose office? John Astro's office. That's where you go. That's the office. We're in John Astro's office. OST. A-R-U. A-R-U? Right, that's the office we're in. There's 3 of us in here. O-S-T-A-R-U? O-S-T-A-R-U. Hello? Hello? We're looking at the financial center. 3 of us, 2 broken windows. Oh, God!
Message number 100.
It's truly the most shocking and disturbing phone call ever made. Nothing can top that. He lost his life instantly at only 46 years old.